Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Nick Monticelli live in Fraser, where a fire ripped through this apartment building. You'll meet from the man credited with saving some lives.
Plus, a portrait of a killer emerging after a massacre at a Texas church sends shockwaves rumbling through the country. Investigators now telling us they believe the suspect, Devin Kelley, died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
One thing that we seem to know is that Devin Kelley was a person with some mental challenges.
As investigators continue to put the pieces together, the victims' lives are being remembered before bullets pierce through their peaceful place of worship. So heartbreaking. That does top our news this noon. The Texas church shooting. A man opened fire inside of the church in a small South Texas community on Sunday, killing 26 people and wounding about 20 others in the deadliest mass shooting in that state's history. About a half hour ago, officials updated us on the investigation, giving more information on the suspect's last moments.
We know during that pursuit, the suspect used his cell phone to notify his father that he had been shot and didn't think he was going to make it. Subsequently, he shot himself. As I said, the pathologist will determine the cause and manner of his death. We can confirm the suspect did not have a license to carry.
The tragedy in Texas is being felt deeply in northern Lower Michigan today, as we have learned that two of the victims were from our state. Robert and Shawnee Corrigan were among the victims. The Corrigans are from the town of Harrison in Clare County. Let's turn now to Sarah Daloff. She is reporting from where it all happened in Sutherland Springs, Texas.
This is a community in shock and grief. 26 people dead, and in a town of just several hundred, it seems everyone knew someone inside the church.
In what was supposed to be a sanctuary, shots fired.
In front of the church. In front of the church.
During Sunday services at First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. 26 people were killed. Between 12 to 14 were children.
My husband actually went to the church to render aid, and he's a strong man, but he turned around, came back. He says, I can't do it.
Law enforcement tells NBC News 26-year-old Devin Kelley, dressed in black and wearing tactical gear, opened fire with an assault-type rifle outside the church before continuing inside, shooting at parishioners.
He exited the church. A local resident grabbed his rifle and engaged that suspect.
Kelley ran and was later found dead inside his car, although it's not clear yet if he took his own life or if he was taken down by one of the men who tracked him.
He lost control on his own and hit the bar ditch.
Kelley, a former member of the Air Force, was given a bad conduct discharge in 2014. He was court-martialed in 2012 for assaulting his wife and child. Authorities say his in-laws have attended the church.
They were not here yesterday to attend church, but they did come yesterday afternoon and speak to the investigators.
Overnight, a vigil for those lost, including the pastor's 14-year-old daughter, Annabelle Pomeroy. The victims range in age from just 5 years old to 72. Lives cut short in a place they felt safe, a small-town church on a Sunday morning.
And some of those injured are in stable condition, still others continuing to fight for their lives, including a 5-year-old shot 5 times who's back in surgery today. In Sutherland Springs, Texas, Sarah Daloff, NBC News.
And you can get the very latest on the Texas church shooting on the homepage of our website. We'll continue to keep the developments updated there at clickondetroit.com. Meanwhile, here at home, some scary moments for people in Fraser this morning after their apartment building caught fire. It happened about 6 o'clock this morning near the area of Masonic and Utica Roads. Nick Monticelli joins us there live this afternoon. And Nick, first off, did everybody make it out okay?
Yes, believe it or not, Ron, and I want to spin the camera around and show you why that's something unbelievable, because this apartment is the one that caught fire. You can see there's essentially nothing left inside of it. There were 2 people inside. The one who's injured is credited with saving his mother, and there's another one credited with saving the lives of many others in this entire building.
They were like 20, 30-foot flames. They'd shoot under the balcony and then up above the building.
The few that live in the Fraser Manor apartments consider Jack Kowalik a hero. He saw the flames around 6 a.m. and ran around door to door.
And I started beating on doors and screaming fire.
My neighbor, Jack, was pounding on my door. Said, "Get out, get out."
Karen Ryder lives next to the apartment that caught fire and knew she only had a few seconds to get out.
I just got up and head out the door, and it was already coming out of the apartment, out the window, the fire. But I guess I've lost mostly everything.
The fire started in this unit, the last one on the right on the ground floor. Fraser firefighters can't say with 100% certainty, but they think careless smoking might be to blame. Inside was an elderly woman and her son who takes care of her. He has the most injuries, likely from trying to rescue her from the fire.
Mother was not injured, but he had some burns, some pretty significant burns to his arms.
Firefighters say this was an intense one. They even used foam instead of water to knock it down. And making matters worse, this is an old building with no firewalls.
As soon as I came up and the fire was relatively under control, we knew everybody was out. You kind of, yeah, that's your number one priority. Just tell me everybody's out. We'll deal with the fire after.
Looking live again at the building, and considering there are no firewalls here, it really is miraculous that more units didn't go up in flames. A firewall would stop the fire from jumping from one to another, and these are the only two that are destroyed. These are the ones that are damaged, so a total of 4 units that can't be lived in right now. But considering there are 12 units here, that's a small number compared to what it could be. We are live here in Fraser. Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Thankfully, everyone got out okay, Nick. Thank you. Now over in St. Clair Shores, where an elderly woman has lost everything in a house fire there. Take a look at the scene. It's Harper and 10 Mile, where the woman lived with her 2 cats. That fire started in the kitchen while she was out of the house. Unfortunately, her 2 cats were inside the home at the time of the fire and did not survive. Happening now, the woman charged with killing her coworker at the Burlington store in Taylor is in court. 49-year-old Sandra Waller is charged with first-degree murder. The officer who arrived at the scene of the incident took to the stand this morning.
Dispatch had advised us that the gun used in the crime was in her waistband. I asked where the gun was. She nodded down towards her left waistband and said, "In my waistband." I reached in and grabbed the gun and secured it in my vehicle.
Today's preliminary exam will determine if there is enough evidence for Sandra Waller to stand trial. And happening right now, another top state official is in a Flint courtroom in connection to the city's water crisis. Michigan's chief medical executive, Dr. Eden Wells, is charged with obstruction of justice and lying to an official. Nearly a month ago, special counsel Todd Flood informed the judge that prosecutors plan to add a charge, of involuntary manslaughter to charges that Wells is already facing. Prosecutors are using this preliminary exam to lay out their case against Wells so a judge can determine if there is enough evidence to send the case to trial. A Detroit man was sentenced to a year in jail today for his role in a car crash that killed a 6-month-old baby. DeAndre Cootie pleaded guilty for failing to stop at an accident while at fault, resulting in death when Cootie's car broadsided a minivan on Detroit's west side this past spring. That crash killed 6-month-old Demetrius Brown Jr. The victim's father spoke in court this morning.
If it was an accident, it's an accident, and I forgive him, but I won't forget, because that was my only boy. I don't have too much longer to live. I need a heart, and that was my first and only boy at the age of 51.
Your heart goes out to this father. DeAndre Cootie will serve his sentence at the Wayne County Jail and then face 3 years of probation. Meanwhile, new developments today in the ongoing investigation of Russian meddling in American politics. One-time Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort arrived at a Washington court this morning where he's seeking to ease a house arrest provision of his bond for charges of illegal ties with foreign governments and money laundering. Manafort associate Rick Gates is also in court. He faces the same charges. Other new developments in the Russia investigation involve possible new targets of special counsel Robert Mueller. Sources say that Mueller now has enough evidence to charge one-time White House National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and Flynn's son about contracts with Russia's ambassador to the U.S. And questions have also arisen about Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross about possibly hiding his ties to a company in Russia connected to relatives of Vladimir Putin. It's a little after 2 a.m. today, Tuesday, I should say, in Tokyo, where President Trump is resting after a busy day meeting with Japanese government leaders. The president announced the U.S. will conduct a major arms sale to Japan and said the deal will give Japanese defense forces the ability to shoot down any missiles that might be fired from North Korea. The president also refused to rule out taking military action against the region. Let's get over to Brandon and talk about our forecast around here after a very wet weekend. It looks like the cold air is what we need to adjust to now.
Yes, cold and a little bit of a breeze today. We have these northwest winds that are 5 to 15, and the latter is more of what we're seeing. So 44 degrees at the noon hour feels like 38. That's what you need to dress for, the wind chill. 46 at 2 p.m., 48 degrees the high. A lot of clouds out there, but some sunshine, at least good source of vitamins, some energy, good for the spirit. Here we go with our numbers again in the low and middle 40s. Comparing our numbers at noon today to yesterday, we're 10 to 20 degrees cooler. And it's all because of these northwest winds that are piling in here. A cold front came through, so this is the conveyor belt of cooler air that is coming in. Again, these winds out of the north-northwest will be with us today and tomorrow, keeping the cool air around. We'll continue to look at sky conditions. Don't have anything for you today, but maybe a few flakes coming your way coming up.
Something we're going to have to get used to around here, but it's tough, Brandon. Still to come, a popular retailer finds itself in a sticky situation, which fashion chain is accused of not paying some of their factory workers. We'll be right back.
Hi,
Disgraced former Congressman Anthony Weiner of New York will enter a federal prison within the next few hours. Weiner resigned from Congress in 2011 after sending sexually explicit messages by phone to a number of women. The New York Democrat was convicted this year of sending sexual messages online to a 15-year-old girl. Today, Weiner will begin a 21-month sentence at a federal prison in Massachusetts. The popular Spanish fashion retailer Zara has found itself in a sticky situation. They have now been accused of not paying some of their factory workers. Shoppers in their Istanbul stores have been finding notes placed in their clothing, which in part read, quote, "I made this item you are going to buy, but I don't get paid for it." The workers were employed by a third-party manufacturer, which shut down abruptly last year and now owes them several months of wages. Fiji's prime minister opened up the UN climate change conference this morning, calling for the world to act now when it comes to climate change. The prime minister went on to say that all over the world, people are suffering from weather-related disasters, including destructive hurricanes, fires, floods, and droughts. The talks of the conference are the first since President Trump announced that the U.S. will pull out of the 2015 Paris Agreement. Still to come here on your Monday, why getting more exercise at higher intensities could help women live longer. Plus, Brandon, sunshine helps us live longer too.
It does, and we're seeing a little bit of that. There's the weekend rain, but here comes the blue. Here come a few flakes in the forecast. We'll talk about 2 chances for that next.
Are you an injured?
Curious about the conflict in this person behind me. Wakeboarding on Lake Chemung in November. Just thrilled to be able to do it in November, but at the same time, freezing. I mean, the water temperatures are cold, the air is getting cold, but everything Erica on Local 4 Storm Pins over near Brighton sharing this picture with us. Check out the Local 4 Storm Pins. A lot of really cool stuff on there, and it's a free app when you search WDIV. 4-zone weather right now, middle 40s for most of us. Pontiac is down to 42 with a wind chill around 36 degrees. You notice at Metro Airport, we're getting a little bit of sunshine mixed in with the clouds. 44 feels like 38, so that's what it feels like to the exposed skin. If you don't have a hat, maybe some gloves on today, it's not bitter cold, but if you're going to be out and about for a little while, probably a good idea, as temperatures are going to struggle to warm up today. Middle upper 40s, and that's if we can part these clouds for a little while into the afternoon hours, but still staying mostly cloudy to partly sunny. It's not going to be a ton of sun tomorrow either, but cooler temperatures in the overnights. This morning we were seeing the same temperatures we're seeing right now. That's because the cold front was coming through, and now we get these morning lows on Tuesday that will have some suburbs in the 20s, 33 the number tomorrow morning, and then temperatures on Wednesday morning even colder. Probably the coldest of the season coming your way. Notice this area of snow coming out of the high plains through southern Minnesota. That is not trending in our direction. Even this little blip here across the Mississippi River north of St. Louis, we're not worried about that. But come Thursday afternoon, looks like we could get a little wintry mix in here, bringing some snowflakes, some snow pellets at the very least. You see the cloud cover with us today, and notice as we head into tomorrow, it is right there with us once again. Now on Wednesday we clear things out. This is part of the reason why the morning temperatures are going to be bitter cold, and then again on Thursday we're tracking a front that comes in through the afternoon hours. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s tomorrow, 20s probably for most of you to middle 40s, but more sun on Wednesday. That front brings an afternoon mix chance on Thursday, and then Rhonda, we're watching Saturday night. This one may have a little more oomph. Saturday night and Sunday, rain snow mix coming in.
All right, we've been warned. Thank you, Brandon. In today's Good Health, getting more exercise at higher intensities could help women specifically live longer. Researchers at Harvard University tracked the activity of over 16,000 older women for 1 week, and they found that more moderate to vigorous exercise like brisk walking lowered the risk of death by as much as 70%. And while less strenuous activity did not affect the women's lifespan, experts say any exercise is good for you. And still to come, unlikely challenger. A brave skunk stands up to a big bully in the video. You just have to see to believe. We'll have it for you when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. So take a look at this video. It's a really brave skunk, one of the bravest in the world, that is quickly going viral with more than 136,000 views and counting on YouTube.
I think my son can't get more than like 12 views on his, but this skunk walking down the road noticed a cougar was stalking it. Just when it looked like the skunk was going to be dinner, things took an unusual turn. When the cougar got a little too close, the skunk, you know what they do, when you see that tail lifting up, it charges the cougar, and the cougar must not have wanted to be sprayed, so it turned, ran away.
I would do the same thing if a skunk was anywhere near me.
I've been
sprayed. To see in the wild, it has the same effect.
I've been sprayed, and not like directly, but I've been in the vicinity, and it doesn't even smell like that when you're in the car and you're like, oh, it doesn't smell great, but it's skunk. This is like intense.
Yeah.
The raw skunking.
I imagine. Have a good day, everybody. Avoid the skunk.